Hi, I'm Karen Kirkman, the Retail Banking Sales and Service Coordinator with United Prairie Bank, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar featuring Amy Kozak with Clover Merchant Card Services. So we've had the pleasure of working with Amy and Clover since 2021, and it's been an outstanding partnership. Amy is incredibly knowledgeable, responsive, and wonderful to work with, and our business clients have been very pleased with Clover solutions and services. With over 30 years in banking, I've worked with several merchant card service providers, and I can confidently say that Clover stands out for its exceptional customer support, next day funding, and competitive pricing. Those advantages have made a meaningful difference for both our team and our business customers. So please join me in welcoming Amy Kozak.
Thank you, Karen. It is my pleasure to be presenting today. I have been working with merchant services for 11 years. We can do anything from e-commerce to retail, bar, restaurant, mobile. So anything that how your business accepts credit cards, debit cards, we will be able to provide that service to you. As we're moving along with our presentation and you have any questions, feel free to interrupt, ask any questions. Once we get going, you'll see that there is a lot to merchant services. It's more than just accepting debit and credit cards as a form of payment. With Clover, we have multiple apps in our Clover App Store that can help with several things. So we will go through those here. The one is tracking inventory. It can be as simple as just tracking your simple items to being able to do inventory count, modifiers such as if it's a retail business, t-shirt size, medium, small, large, to restaurants with the different menu options. We can also do the cost versus price, so it will keep track of that for your business as well, as far as how much each item is bringing into your business and which one is more profitable than others. We can also set an inventory count. So if you have, say, 100 items and you want to be notified when the count is down to 5 or 10, the system can let you know that on when to reorder. It does a lot for your business. So I always say time is money. Let your point of sale do those things for you. Another feature that we have with Clover is time management. We have Homebase. That is an app on the Clover device. It can do clock in, clock out. What is nice is that it has a camera as well. So one of the major, or I should say more frequent ways of fraud getting taken against the business is through your employees, whether that being through embezzlement or, for instance, in the time management situation is where an employee may be running late and they want to have one of their friends clock in for them. It actually has a camera on there, so it will take a picture of them clocking in, clocking out if that is something that you are concerned with. The other thing that it does is we can do rewards and loyalty. It's a way to keep your customers from coming back. And in the competitive world that we have now with all the businesses, it just, like I said, it keeps your customers coming back, and it is a thank you to them as well for their continued support of your business. You can either do a percentage on the rewards and loyalty, or you can do a dollar figure for that amount. Another one that I did not add to this slide, but I think is important, is an app called Happy Hour. Even though Happy Hour we may refer to as for bars and restaurants, we can use this in the retail space as well. I have a business in Okoboji Iowa that uses the Happy Hour app in their retail business, and they use it for t-shirts. So for instance, on Tuesdays, it's half buy one, get one half off. So you can be very strategic with using all our apps to make it work for your business. And if you have any questions, like on any of these apps, we have a great support as well as Karen had mentioned. It's 24/7 support on the device. And if you need any assistance at all, there's a help button on there that you can press the help button and someone can help you walk through that app and setting up, for instance, the Happy Hour app and what you want it to do for you. The other option that we have through Clover is gift cards. If a business owner uses gift cards, it increases their revenue by 30%. If when somebody's using a gift card, their chances are is that they're going to spend way more than that gift card is. And usually it is an additional 30% beyond what that value of the gift card is. Our gift cards can be either physical gift cards, you can customize it. If you don't want to customize it, we do have a support team that will help customize it for you. It's just an extra fee, I believe, of $100, but you can get very personable with your gift cards. The other thing is that we can offer e-gift cards. E-gift cards are you can send a text or an email to the recipient. I know that is something that I enjoy because having a physical gift card, chances are probably going to lose them with switching out purses or just in general with having that physical gift card, where with an e-gift card, you can just go to your text messages or email and present it there. QuickBooks Online, with your Clover account, we are able to sync with QuickBooks Online, which is a nice feature. Before it used to be that you had to pay an extra $30. We now are able to interface, or I should say integrate with QuickBooks Online in the back office on your Clover account. It will ask you to log into your QuickBooks, and then from there it syncs. So then at the end of the business day, when it does batch out, it will just go into your QuickBooks and write that information into your QuickBooks for you. Another feature that we have, speaking of back office, is you have the ability to create payment links that can be added to your website, or you can create a text to pay link that can be sent to your customers to pay. A great feature for this or industry for this would be more so for medical practices. You can text your patients to do the text to pay to make their payments. We can also send out estimates and invoices. This is good for counseling, attorneys, landscapers, contractors. The estimate feature in the back office will send your customers estimate. If they agree to that estimate, they will click on agree. Then that will go back to the to your back office, and then the Clover will create an invoice to have that be sent back to your customers, create it as an invoice, send it back, and then they can make their payment that way. And then the other feature is payroll with going back to our time management feature. We are now partnered with ADP, which is one of the world's largest payroll companies. And ADP is now offering 6 months of free payroll for new customers. When I did a transfer call, or a warm transfer call, I should say, a couple of weeks ago with one of my customers, they were also offering another 20% off the membership for the lifetime of the account. So not only are they offering 6 months free for payroll, but they're offering an additional 20% off for new customers. So that is another nice feature of having Clover. So as I was saying at the beginning, Clover is just more than accepting debit and credit cards. I always say work smarter, not harder, and allow your point of sale system to work for you. The other, I should say, the next slide here is going to be our Clover products. The tap to pay on iPhone is nice because it allows you not to have to buy a device. And one thing I want to mention too with doing manual transactions versus in-person transactions, when you're doing a transaction manually, it has a higher risk of having a chargeback. And 10 times out of 10, if you are manually entering a transaction and a customer disputes that, the business owner unfortunately is not going to win just because it's a less secure way of accepting a payment. I had a tire company, unfortunately, do 3 sets of tires. This individual clearly knew what he was doing when he was manually calling in to make that payment over the phone. And so the business owner unfortunately was out 3 sets of tires and $7,700 just because he manually entered those transactions. So if you are a business that manually enters transactions, my only suggestion to you is make sure that you know who you are taking that payment from. And if not, highly recommend that they make that payment to you in person. So going back to the tap to pay on the iPhone actually acts as a device. So when you download the Clover Go app, you don't need a device. The iPhone will scan the card for you, and it will be considered an in-person transaction. The Clover Go, the next one over is our mobile device. It Bluetooth connects to a phone or tablet, and the payment then is taken through the Clover Go app. Clover Compact, I really don't sell a whole lot of these. There's not a lot of features when it comes to the Clover Compact that you get as far as inventory management. So my go-to is either the Clover Flex or the Flex Pocket. The Clover Flex has a built-in receipt printer, which is nice because if you need a customer that needs a hard copy of their receipt, the Clover Flex is able to print that out for them. All of our devices, however, can do text and email receipts. The Flex Pocket is just what it is. It does not have a receipt printer built into it. It can fit in the back of a pocket. This is common for bars and restaurants for order takers, so it's not bulky. They can just put it in the back of their pocket, and then if the customer does need a physical receipt, they can go to the Clover Station Solo and print out the physical receipt, or like I said, they can either be text or emailed the receipt. All the devices here going forward have all the apps built into them, such as the inventory, employee tracking, loyalty, and the rewards as well. The Clover Mini is hardwired in, so that one is stationary. It can connect to Wi-Fi or it can connect to Ethernet. It also can connect to a cash drawer. And we'll get into cash here in a little bit, but the Clover Mini is good for like boutiques, coffee shops, any retail that does take or service industry that takes cash. If you wanted to, you could get a swivel stand for the Clover Mini, which I believe is $60. You can put the information in on your end as the business owner, and then if you wanted to swivel it around to your customers so they can put their card in, their number or email in for their rewards, or place a tip, that is a great feature to have, and it's just a little less expense than having the Clover Station Solo or the Duo. And then moving next to the Clover Station Solo, this is more for bar restaurants where it's the payment is made via either running a tab or a sit-down restaurant, and the payment is not taken at the table. However, if you did have the Clover Station Solo, as I explained earlier with the Clover Flex, it is cloud-based, so whatever is done on the Clover Flex will be showing up on the Clover Station Solo, Duo, or the Mini. So that's nice about these products is that they are cloud-based. And then the Clover Station Duo, it's the big screen facing the business owner, and then the smaller screen facing the customer. So again, in a quick service restaurant situation or a boutique retail setting. This is perfect to have for that, as your customers can enter their card information. They can see what is being entered on the device. I know a lot of retail, or when I go into a store, I should say, I like to see what is being entered, because if it's an item that was on clearance or discounted, that I'm seeing that pop up. And so that's a nice feature to have for your customers as well. And then we don't see these a lot around the Midwest, but we do have Clover kiosks. This is in place of basically an employee. There's a lot of turnover these days with people not showing up for their shifts. So going into a coffee shop or a quick service restaurant, the Clover kiosk is perfect for this. The items are the orders, I should say, are entered on the kiosk, and then it gets fired back to the kitchen or to wherever the order is, and the order is placed that way. So those are our Clover products. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to ask, or we'll just move on to the next slide, which is the way to pass on fees to consumers, clients, and patients. And this is in compliance. I just want to note that it's compliance with Visa and MasterCard. It's not anything to do with the processing companies. These are Visa and MasterCard guidelines that business owners must follow. If they are not following these rules and regulations that Visa and MasterCard have set, businesses are fined are fined $500 up to $2,500. And then a letter is being sent to business owners stating if that is not changed, they will be blacklisted from accepting debit and credit cards with their social security number in their EIN. And just so you are aware, Visa and MasterCard do have secret shoppers going around businesses. So you definitely want to make sure that if you are not in compliance with these guidelines, that you become compliant as soon as possible. And the nice thing about our Clover products is that our Clover products can recognize if it's a debit or credit card and pass the fee on accordingly. Or if we are doing cash discount, the Clover is able to take off the cash discounted price. And the cash discount is completely up to the business owner. If you only want to pass on half of the discount, you can do that, but Clover can do the full amount. So I'll just dive into surcharge and what that means. For retail businesses, and this is not, this excludes government and education. They are exempt from this because they are able to pass on a fee to both debit and credit cards. So this is more so towards service industry, retail industries, and medical practices. But you cannot pass on a fee to a debit card. It is against compliance to pass on a fee to debit cards, and that is if it's in-person transactions. So if it's an in-person transaction, Visa and MasterCard have it maxed at 3%. That is passed on to Visa and MasterCard customers. And then if a debit card is used, your cost with us would be 1.75% and 25 cents a transaction. However, if you are giving your customers the convenience of calling in to do a payment over the phone, you are able to pass that fee on to debit card customers. It's basically when you're doing card present transactions. There's a lot of businesses. I would say 90% of the businesses are not compliant. I had one where I spoke to yesterday. Their effective rate is now 14% on their statements, and they were passing that fee on to their customers. So big red flag. We just want to make sure that you guys are compliant in accepting your credit card, or in accepting passing on that fee. If you want to pass on the fee to both debit and credit cards, the way to do that in compliance again with Visa and MasterCard is your prices, either retail or service price, need to be listed as card prices. So for instance, if an item is $100, you would want to list it as $104.20. If somebody paid with their debit or credit card, then their cost would be the $104.20. If somebody paid you in cash, they would get the 4% cash discount or whatever cash discount price that you're passing on to your customers, and they would just pay you the $100. So that is the way to get around with passing that fee on to both debit and credit cards, is your prices have to be listed as card prices, and then they would get the cash discount. It's on cash, not passing on the fee. And both of these, you do have to have signage in your businesses, letting your customers know and how that fee is being passed on, whether you're doing a surcharge or you're doing a cash discount.
Okay, Amy, can you hear me?
Yes, Paulette.
Okay. So we charge a 4% handling fee. So that's illegal.
And the
For
handling
any,
fee,
for any credit or debit cards, we charge 4%.
correct. Yeah, so you're not in compliance with Visa and MasterCard.
Okay, so we would have to go with a card price and a cash price, and then we could do that?
Yes, so if your prices were listed, say at, well, in order to pass on the fee, it's 3% that it's maxed at, and it's for credit cards only, Paulette. And
Okay.
our systems, our Clover devices can determine whether it is a credit or debit card. Are your transactions in person or done over the phone?
In person.
Okay, so yeah, so you would want it to be at 3%. But then the other thing is, you want to make sure that you're not passing that 3% fee on to your debit card customers. And so typically what it looks like on the processing end is that we set it up as surcharge. So our system automatically knows that if it is not, or if it is a debit card, to not pass that fee on. And then your fee would just be the 1.75% and 25 cents a transaction. And then if it is a credit card, you don't have to worry about adding on the 3%. Our system will do that for you.
Okay, so we gotta go in and change something on how we've got it set up.
Correct. Yes. So yes, you just want to make sure that your business, like I said, is set up for a surcharge or a cash discount if you are passing on those fees. And the other thing too is, if you're not currently processing with United Prairie Bank, I am open to having that conversation with you. I can give you a cost analysis on what you are currently being charged, to what it would look like if we moved you over to surcharge and cash discount. I know I had an automotive store that I was working with a couple weeks ago, and with just doing the regular pricing with them, assuming the fee, we're saving them about $100 a month. But then once it went to them passing on the fee, it was about $700 a month, and over 3 years, it was saving them, I believe, close to $27,000 over 3 years. So that's a lot of money that can be put back into your business to work for you. And then I look at it this way: when I go out and I know I use my debit or credit card, typically my credit card, because we all want our points, right? I know that somebody is paying for those rewards. And so I'm okay with paying that. And that's kind of like the mindset that the Midwest has now finally grown accustomed to. So if you would like me to reach out to you about your merchant account, and like I said, if you're not processing with us already, we'd be more to do a complimentary free cost analysis for you. And that is based on you assuming the fee or moving over to surcharge and cash discount.
All right, thanks, Amy. So this slide highlights several of the ways that United Prairie Bank and Clover Merchant services work together to support our business customers. United Prairie Bank provides the trusted local banking relationship, business accounts, lending, and personalized service our customers value. And Clover adds flexible payment processing, point of sale tools, next day funding, and reporting capabilities that help businesses operate more efficiently. Together, this creates a strong combination, giving business customers both the financial partnership they need from their bank and the payment solutions they need to run their businesses successfully. So, with that, are there any other questions for Amy? Okay, and if not, I'd just like to thank you for attending this webinar. Thank you, Amy, so much for the valuable information. And if you have any questions, I can be reached at kkirkman@unitedprairiebank.com. And my phone number is 507-386-4899. Or please feel free to reach out to Amy Kozak at amy.kozak@fiserv.com. And her direct line is 605-499-9903. Thank you so much. And as always, we'll help you get there.